I've been waiting to do this video. So guys, we're going to be doing something completely different. We're going to accomplish two things today. One, I'm going to show you exactly how I managed to lsswap my 1970 Monte Carlo. And two, I'm going to be doing an update on this Monte Carlo because I haven't posted anything or showed you guys any progress in over a year. But before we dive in, if you wouldn't mind, go down, hit that subscribe button and hit that noti bell, guys. I really appreciate it. We're slowly climbing up in subscribers, man. This is awesome. This is the dream, and I try to squeeze in whatever I can when I can. So if you could do that, that's awesome. All right, so let's start with the swap plates. All right, so originally I bought the wrong ones. I was gonna do the Harley Blackheart setup, which these. That was originally what I was gonna use. You know, you bolt to the frame and these bolt to the LS motor. Wham bam, you're done. Okay? No. When I did that, this moved my motor way forward. Okay? And that was not ideal because my alternator stuff was crashing into my gearbox. So that wasn't the set. What I opted to do instead was I got a set of these Flowtech lsswap engine brackets, okay? Now pay attention. They make early models and late models of these. The early models is gonna use like the, I guess you would say the narrow clamshell style. And the late model ones actually use your traditional clamshell styles that you see in like your C10s and stuff like that, or like your 79 and on, no, 73 and on out. So again, Flowtech lsswap engine brackets. I use the earlies. You can use these in A body cars, you can use them in X body cars, you can use them in F body cars. They all work. They're simple. I think I got these off Holly. There was like a clearance going on and it was like 30 bucks. Like that's all you need. And then of course you're gonna need your stock frame mounts, which you already got those, or there's a couple sites that you can look those up, but you should already have a set on your car if you pulled out a small block or something like that. So reuse those and reuse the clamshell that bolted to that. You're gonna reuse all that. So it's basically like a sandwich. That's all it is. It's literally a sandwich. This piece right here bolts to the block, to the mounting pad, and then your traditional stuff bolts to this. Put some blue Loctite on that. Bam, done. Not a problem. I put the part number down right here. That way you didn't hear exactly what kind I said. Again, it was the Flowtech lsswap mounts. So let's move on to the next part of this swap. All right. Now that we're under the vehicle, there's a couple different options you can go with for this. I'm going to explain to you the easiest option. It may not be the most cost-effective way, but it's the easiest. So I opted for the Harley 300 pan. Okay, this pan is perfect. I have plenty of clearance. I don't have an issue with how low this oil pan sits in the comparison to my cross member. This is phenomenal. So when the car's on the ground, like, this oil pan is actually sucked up like ½ an inch from the cross member, so I don't ever have to worry about bodying out the bottom of this pan. Now there is a cheaper option. This again is the Harley brand. Harley also sells a white box, which is the exact same pan, but it doesn't have the logo on it. So I mean, if you're being budget friendly and you really don't care about that stuff and you just want to get it done, just buy the white box. Or if you're extremely lucky, you can find an LS1 pan. I find it that the LS1 pans used are a lot harder to find than it is just to go ahead and buy one of these pans for $199 without that logo on it and be done with it. Now, what we're also going to talk about while I'm down here is your windage tray. Your windage tray and your pickup tube. All right, you need had to reset myself. The pickup tube comes with the kit for the pan. The windage tray does not. You need to buy a windage tray. I bought an LS1 style windage tray from Scott Diggy's. I think it was like 50 bucks. I bought that pan, I bolted that pan on. Now, I did have to modify the corner. When you have the engine on the engine stand and you're looking dead in front of it, that bottom right corner I had to modify so my pickup tube will sit flush. You have to take a piece off, so remember that. So bolt it on and take you like a marker and go around the edge exactly where it bolts up to, exactly where that pickup tube sits down into. You're gonna take that off. You can use a cutoff wheel, what have you, 10 snips, does not matter. You take that, you cut it off, you clean it up, deburr the edges. Do not forget to deburr the edges. If you don't, you're gonna get metal shavings and other stuff inside and it's gone. But yes, take that, deburr it, clean it up, bolt it together, slam it on, and you can sit it down here and you won't have a single issue. Also, while I'm down here, I'm gonna go over 2 things that you need to know about transmission fitness, especially in these cars. All right, right now I am running a turbo 400, okay? Now, because I'm running a turbo 400, I'm actually using the stock 6.0 flywheel. I don't need no spacer, I don't need any of that stuff. Now, if you was using the turbo 350, you would have to get a actual flywheel for that. Let me show you exactly which flywheel you need. Alright, this is the flywheel. This is a PRW SFI approved flywheel. This is an lsswap flywheel. It has a 1075 and the 1106 bolt pattern on it. This is the flywheel that you need. You need this flywheel and this right here, this little spacer. Now, me personally, I don't like these things. These things have like a little, they work, okay? Let me go ahead and clear this up for anybody that got one of these and they think it's the end of the world. Like, oh man, no. They work, they really do. There's not a problem with them. I just don't like how much play there is in it. Now, again, if you're throwing it together cheaply, you don't care, you got I don't know, your Saturday night special or whatever kind of cheap budget torque converter you got in your turbo 350, these things work. I just don't like how much slack is in them, how much play you have. But they work. So you take you one of these and you take this. This goes into your torque converter. I don't have a torque converter laying around. Maybe I do. Hold on. Don't pay attention to this truck. This truck ain't appeared on the channel yet. But for video purposes, you're gonna see this. All right. Get out of here. Ooh, it's fluid in this. All right, you see that right there? Bam! Just like that. See what that does? This right here goes onto the back of your torque converter. All right, this takes up the difference because this torque converter, this snout right here will not go behind the flywheel or into the little crater of the crank of the LS motor. That's why it's like shaved down and resized right here. All right, this is what you need for that. So again, they work, but I don't like them because, like, look how simple this is. I can move this up and down barely. It's not enough to not really, you know, harm anything, but it's also at the same time not ideal. Again, I've used them before. They work for like a cheap throw together project. You don't, it's gonna work, guys. It's gonna work. But again, PRW flywheel, I'll put that down here and I'll put this little thing down here if you're using the turbo 350. I mean, all right, now that we back on the bottom side of the car, okay, right now I really don't have my transmission cross member bolted in, but it does, the stock one, because I am using a turbo 400, it still fits. I don't have to worry about that. I'm doing other stuff right now, so we're not going to cover that. But just know that your stock cross member will work. This is, again, is in the factory settings. So that means your factory drive shaft will fit. So you won't have to worry about drive shaft cutting, extending, any of that crap. Only if you stay with the turbo 350 or the turbo 400s. Or the turbo, not turbo, 200R4 or 204R, whatever the name of it is. That transmission works too because it's the same length as a short tail. Okay, these cars came with short tail turbo 350s and short tail turbo 400s. So again, it'll work. But clearance issues, let's talk about that. This is the turbo 400. Again, this car came stock with a turbo 400. I can literally take my hand and put my hand up in here. I can touch the top side. I've also test fitted a 4L60. It also fits without any issue. A 4L80 also fits. The only problem with an 80 is back here where your plug goes for your wiring harness. You will have to beat in up here, just in this general area. You have to dimple this area right here, right above where the plug goes into the transmission, just so you have clearance. Other than that, there's not a single issue. So you can run those, don't worry. It will not hold you up. These cars are big. They have plenty of space. Lastly, let's talk about ignition systems. Now, as you guys can see, my setup for the time being is currently carbureted. No, I will not be firing the motor off. I've already fired this motor off in a short. I am not set up right now to currently fire this motor off, as I'm doing other stuff like test fitting headers and all that stuff, which I'll do an update video on that to let you guys know. Just know, current time, that Camaro Firebird or LS3 style Camaro manifolds will work. They will fit, they will clear the frame rails, they will go down. Or you can just spend money on the Hollies because you just want to have Holly ones. I mean, they're the exact same, they just look like block cutters. But currently, I am running a carbureted setup. This will not stay. This is going to change. But to test fire this motor, to get everything checked, to make sure everything's good, I ran with the carb intake. And we're also going to be using this carb intake to also test other LS motors that we bring home, because I have an addiction. But if you have to know, the box that I am running is a 6014 LS series box. Now mine's the black one. It can be, you can buy the red one. They all look the freaking same. This one has the wiring harness for the 24 and the 58 reluctor wheels. So I mean, if you buy that box, you can't go wrong. Where it's like, oh, I bought the wrong box. If you buy that one, you're fine. It comes with both of the wiring harnesses. They both plug into the harness and you're good. That kind of eliminates it. I mean, if you want to spend the extra money and get the 6040 black that has the 24 58 and kind of be dummy proof, then buy it. You can't go wrong. Because I mean, look, let's just say you got a Gen 3 LS motor and you blow it up and it's like, oh, well, I can go to the pick pull yard and I can get another 5.3, but this time this is Gen 4. Oh no, I gotta buy a whole nother box because my box isn't compatible with the 58 reluctor wheels. Well, guess what? If you get the 6040 MSD black, it's compatible with both, so no money wasted. So I will also put the part number to that right here in this area somewhere, but that works. Now that pretty much wraps up exactly how I was able to shoehorn this LS motor into this car without any issues whatsoever. Plenty of clearance. Like, look back there, I have plenty of clearance. I have no issues. Everything sits up here nice. I have all this space right here to work with. So we're gonna have to get a little bit creative on as far as like the radiator hoses and stuff goes. I'm just gonna take, you know, a piece of clothes hanger, bend it up, and try to, you know, go to O'Reilly's and go through their freaking hoses and try to find one that's closest, because I don't like doing the cut and then taking a piece of pipe and then, yeah, that's trashy. We're trying to stay classy. So that pretty much wraps up how I was able to LS swap this. Get on there. There we go. Well, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Like I said, I wanted to do like it's almost been a month. I like to at least try to get one video posted a month. I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry, and I've been meaning to like post this car on the channel ever since I got it. This car didn't get a lot of views when I first posted the first video. Again, I was still very inexperienced. I'm still learning every day how to be a YouTuber, and I really hope this shed some light You don't have to go and buy these $500, $600, $700 swap mount kits and this, that, and the other, when you can go buy, you know, a cost-effective, budget-friendly way to install something. And it's easy, guys. It's easy to get swooped into these things. You see Roadkill, you see all these guys, Power Trend, or Motor Trend, and you got these guys that be on YouTube that it's like they got like an unexpendable, like an unlimited budget. And we live in the car world. This stuff is not cheap. Money just don't fall out like that. This is for your home baked. You got freaking a little bit extra money to throw to the side. You done already paid all the bills. The wife's happy, or your husband's happy, or your partner's happy, or whatever. You know, whatever. The kids, the dogs, the cats, the groceries, everything's taken care of, and you got like a little car addiction, and you want to have something that you want to put to the side to slowly build your project. Well, just know that it does not take all that money to swap stuff, guys. I know a lot of people like to be like, oh man, LS swap, man, it's more money than I thought. I gotta go get this and I gotta go get that. And yes, LS swaps will nickel and dime the crap out of you if you let them, because it's so easy to fall down the rabbit hole. Guys, I could have bought a 4.8 or 5.3 and freaking bought a turbo and like blew the dang brains out on this car and got more power than what I built. But I want something reliable, I want something fun, I want something that I can do an abundance of things in, and you just can't beat that. These LS motors are just great. And guys, you better snatch them up while you can, because everything's like kind of like getting a stranglehold. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but I'm rambling, guys. Again, I appreciate you watching. If you wouldn't mind, again, going down there, hit the subscribe button, like this video. If you know somebody that wants to do an LS swap in an A body, X body, F body, it does not matter, point them to this video so they'll know that these are the only things they need to get that motor and transmission into that car and get you one step closer to getting your project on that road. TK, guys, I appreciate you. I am working on so many different things to bring you guys, so I hope you guys stick around, hit the noti, and I'll see you in the next video.